We're diving into one of the most overlooked pieces of the postpartum puzzle, nutrition. I'm joined by a leading voice in postpartum wellness as we unpack the real reasons moms feel depleted after birth and what providers are missing when it comes to postpartum care, as well as the central role nutrition plays in both physical recovery and emotional well-being. If you've ever wondered why you're still so tired, foggy, or just not feeling like yourself, this conversation with Maranda today is going to shine a light on what your body might be missing and what you can do about it. Are you ready? Let's go. Are you finding it hard to keep up with the demands of motherhood because your energy is always low? Is your weak core holding you back from feeling strong and confident in your postpartum journey? Do you avoid looking in the mirror because you're not happy with what you see? Hey mama, welcome to the Fit Postpartum Mom podcast, where you'll learn how to reclaim your energy, strengthen your body after pregnancy, and finally say goodbye to the postpartum pooch in less time. Hi, I'm Dr. Jenna, but you can call me Jenna, and I'm a physical therapist, wife, and mom of 4 girls who has cracked the code on how to strengthen your core postpartum in the easiest and safest way possible. I too struggled with my postpartum fitness journey as a new mom, but now I'm stronger than ever, and I'm here to help you do the same without the stress, exhaustion, or struggle. If you're ready to fit fitness into your busy schedule while you navigate your postpartum journey and stay motivated along the way, then you're in the right place. It's all about progress, not perfection, and I'm here to help walk you through that journey to feeling strong, confident, and energized. That energy comes from within, not your coffee. Let's roll out that yoga mat, girl. It's time to do this. Hey mama, does your body feel off since having your baby? Maybe you're tired of just pulling on the leggings that still feel way too tight, or maybe it's just hard to get up off the floor after playing with your baby and you're thinking, why does this feel so hard? You're not lazy. You're not broken. Your body just needs the right kind of support to get strong again. You just had a baby. Well, I created Postpartum Ab Rehab for moms exactly like you, moms who want to feel good in their bodies and feel amazing all the time, right? Not just for a number on the scale or the flat stomach, though yes, we work on that too, but because you want to move through your day with ease. You want things to just be easier and less of a struggle. You want to play with your baby on the floor without struggling to get up. Just the fact of pushing up off the floor is hard enough. You want things to be easier. You want to walk into your closet and grab your favorite pair of jeans and look at them and be like, yes, I'm going to fit in them. They're going to feel great. And you just want to feel good in your clothes. You want to wake up feeling energized, not drained before the day even starts. You want to go about your day feeling amazing. So Postpartum Ab Rehab is my 6-month group coaching program that helps you rebuild your core strength in just 10 minutes a day and can help you with so much more. So you can just move better, feel stronger, and get your body back to doing the things that you love with energy. And the great part is these are safe, effective workouts. These are safe exercises that you don't have to think twice about because I know that these are the best exercises out there, and so do my students. They love them. Plus, I'll be coaching you along the way with my guidance, encouragement, and accountability. And you'll be a part of this mom group who totally gets what you're going through. They are going through the same thing you're going through, and they are super motivated, just like you are. So if you're tired of feeling uncomfortable in your own body, and I know you are, and you're ready to start feeling good again in your clothes, in your skin, and in your energy, all 3 of these are areas that you are struggling with and you want to feel amazing. Come join me inside Postpartum Ab Rehab. Head to livecorestrong.com/program. Get signed up, get coaching with me, and let's take the first step together towards feeling strong, confident, and like you again. Let's do this together, mama. I'm excited to have Maranda Bower on the show today. She is a scientist, researcher, and postpartum specialist, and the founder of Postpartum University, where she teaches and empowers healthcare providers and professionals to transform postpartum maternal health with a focus on functional nutrition, hormones, nervous system, and perinatal mental health. As the creator of the Postpartum Nutrition Certification Program and author of the best-selling book, Reclaiming Postpartum Wellness, she has become a leading figure in the field, helping thousands of professionals worldwide deepen their expertise and care through advanced, holistic, and evidence-based postpartum education. She lives in Alaska with her husband, 4 children, and many unruly chickens. Let's get into our conversation with Maranda. Hi, Miranda. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
I am so glad to talk to you again. This is not our first time together, and I'm just so grateful to be here. So thank you.
Yeah, well, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and how you became so passionate about improving postpartum care for both moms and providers.
Yeah, so I was a person who is very interested in science. I had a background in biology, and I was always just like very curious about the human body and about medicine and all of the things. And then life happened and I ended up having my own baby. I got pregnant, which was very unexpected for me, but I was so thrilled. I was so excited. And I had planned everything. I had done like all the research on top of it. I was like into the science and the journals and like reading all of the books. And I was like so prepared. So I thought, right? And the reality is I had prepared so much for labor and birth. And I kind of knew nothing about postpartum. Like, really, there was nothing on there. And this was 15 years ago. My oldest is 15 now. And back then, we didn't talk about postpartum. Like, that was just not really a conversation to be had. And so when I became postpartum myself, it was very much like, a brick coming down on me. I felt like a complete train wreck. And I didn't quite understand like what was occurring in my body. Like, yeah, we knew that there was a little bit of bleeding and we knew about, maybe a little bit of baby blues and there's going to be big emotions and maybe a little bit of sleep and the breast milk coming in. Like I knew those things, but there was so much depth that I did not understand. And more importantly, I had no idea how I was going to heal my body beyond, here's your ice pack for your perineum and, rest in bed for a couple of days. Like that just seemed so so tiny, like so I don't know. It was not enough for what I felt was needed for what just occurred in my body. And so that really began the beginning of my entire journey and developing postpartum university, as well as I had childbirth educator classes. I had a mom and baby product line. Like I was so passionate and still am about supporting that mother and baby. And through my own really deep, dark, you know, experiences with my introduction into postpartum, including postpartum depression and anxiety. And now I've gone on to have 3 more babies. So I have 4 total. And I've had some incredible experiences and some really awful experiences. And that's been really able to help me shift and move into this field so much easier. And, helping my education grow and also just my experiences and combined has allowed me to create what I have.
Oh wow, what a story. Yeah, you've been through a lot and you've developed a lot and you know a lot. So I'm so excited to dive into your expertise today. So let's start with what are some of the common gaps you see in postpartum care that need more attention? Because I know you're seeing the gaps and that's why you created Postpartum University. So can you elaborate on some of those big gaps that you see?
Oh, this is so huge. We can go on and on. We could probably have a multitude of podcast episodes just on this conversation. But some of the biggest things that I see, particularly, so my work, I used to do a lot with working directly with moms, and a lot of my work has shifted because moms were having such incredible successes and their providers were wanting to know what was happening. And so, Postpartum University was born in that because so many providers have zero training during for this period. Even OBs, right? there and trained for acute postpartum care, meaning what happens when you leave that hospital, making sure that you are breastfeeding, that your bleeding is well taken care of, and that you don't have any sort of infection. Like that is the goal for most providers and what they're trained in. And then that 6 week mark, when you come back, it's for that, one and only 15-minute, if you're lucky, kind of appointment. And it's basically to assess, about that bleeding, about that, any concerns. And here's your birth control pills. And you're good to go, right? And so there's nothing outside of that. And I think that is where I have spent so much of my time focusing. Like, what are these physiological changes that are occurring in the body? What are these psychological changes? Because our brains are different. Our gut is different. The way we detox our bodies are so different in that postpartum. And when we understand that and know that, then we can better support that body. Then we can create tools and resources for moms to implement that's going to really make their experience so much better. Because right now, we have a world that is we have an epidemic of postpartum depression, right? We have women who are at a 30% increased risk of developing an autoimmune disease in the first year after giving birth. And just these stats alone are astronomical. And I can continue going, right? Like there's so much. Women after having a baby are suffering immensely. And it doesn't have to be that way. We've normalized hair loss, we've normalized pain, we've normalized depression and anxiety. And it's not normal. We just haven't figured out how to deeply support the body.
Yeah, I can so relate to that. When I had my first baby, which was around 12 years ago, I did not know what to do with my body. And I, being a physical therapist, I should know what to do with my body, but again, you're relying on the doctors to just tell you what to do. And so I developed my own plan, but still, there are so many people coming to me needing help with their bodies because doctors still aren't teaching them what to do with their postpartum bodies. But along those lines is the depression and the hair loss. I was shocked when I lost my hair. I was like, what's happening? No one told me. I didn't know. We're so focused on breastfeeding and diaper changing, and that's about it, right? That's all we really are taught. And then we experience what motherhood and postpartum is really like. Yes. So many things there. Well, as someone with a background in functional nutrition, how do you define postpartum nutrition? Can we elaborate on that? And why is it such a critical part to recovery?
It's interesting because if we look at cultural studies and studies done that, anthropological studies, what do other cultures around the world do for postpartum care? Nutrition is the foundation to everything. That's their community care, happens through nutrition. Their herbal care is all about nourishment and nutrition. So food is the source of healing for postpartum in particular. And so this is something that we've known for generations. We've known for thousands of years. This is kind of something that's been lost in our more modern age culture where we don't support nourishment and food as we once used to. And on top of it, our culture prioritizes things that are quick fixes. We got to get our body back. We got to, lose the baby weight. We got to get our kids off to practice and shuffle, shuffle, shuffle and go, go, go. And in that, we have lost our connection with food. And the interesting thing is that science, although it's a little behind and it's always been behind when it comes to women's healthcare, it says the exact same thing. We know nourishment is the foundation to healing when you're sick, when you are, recovering from a surgery, and when you're recovering from giving birth, when you've created an entire human being with your body, right? And then you've birthed that baby into the world. And for many women, sustain that baby's life with your breast milk. Like that's an immense period of nutritional need. And then we have to account for the physiological changes that occur. So those gut changes that happen. And when we get into that, And I won't get into it too much here because I know our time is limited. But the gut changes, the way we digest foods and postpartum changes. And that's exactly why so many women experience, gut discomfort and gas and bloated right after having a baby, right? And we're told, oh, that's normal. It's just your hormones. No, it's your gut actually just requires a different way of breaking down foods because it doesn't have the enzymes and gastric acids that it once did at pre-birth, because your nervous system has shifted, your gut changed, and that requires some very easy nutrient dense meals, like very easy to digest. So much of the focus in our culture is just eat nutrient dense foods, right? Salads, smoothies, like just pack it all in there. But when we don't take into consideration those physiological changes, we miss the fact that a lot of those are really difficult to absorb. So you can eat all of the most nutrient dense foods you can, but if your body can't do anything with it, if it's just literally passing through you, and it's causing an upset because it's having to sit in your gut longer, which also leads to leaky gut and things like allergies and food sensitivities. It's not doing you it's doing you a disservice, right? And so there's two parts. We have to make sure that yes, our foods are nutrient dense, but also that they're very easy for the body to digest, that the body doesn't have to work harder to make sure that it can use those nutrients. And we know so many women are entering this stage very nutrient deficient. I think the stat right now for US women is 80% of women, 80% of women are nutrient depleted in the postpartum period. And so when you don't have the nutrients you need, your body cannot function. It cannot produce the hormones. It cannot sleep well. It cannot heal tissue, right? That is so necessary for healing. It can't produce the breast milk that it needs to, or in a way that feels regulated, right? Maybe it's too much or too little. And, there's just so much going on. So if we want to heal, we have to focus on nourishment.
That actually leads to my next question. I was going to ask you about the impact of recovery. And so you elaborated on that. And thank you for that, because that's really important for everybody to understand. But what are the nutritional deficiencies and imbalances that you're seeing? Like, where are moms lacking the most? What are you seeing in most postpartum moms?
Well, I first want to say before I answer that, and I'll give you a couple of different nutrients and minerals that are so key. But when we are deficient in one, we are deficient in many because nutrients work together synergistically, right? So if you eat a specific nutrient, it goes together with another. And there are also nutrients that don't go together, right? And we see this often with things like calcium and citrus foods like vitamins C and things like that. Like they don't work together. And we see that in food pairings, right? We don't drink a glass of milk with an orange. Like that just, it doesn't settle the stomach in the least bit, right? And so that also is very reflective of the nutrients that are reacting together as well. For example, I see a lot of women take iron supplementation because maybe they're anemic or they're borderline anemia in either late stage post pregnancy or postpartum. So this is a massive one. Anemia and iron deficiency is one of those key factors, and also the symptoms of iron deficiency mimic depression and anxiety. So a lot of women are misdiagnosed with depression and anxiety because they never got their nutrient levels tested for iron or ferritin. So you can't just test iron, you also have to test ferritin. It's a long process. But a lot of women will go and take their iron supplement along with drinking coffee or along with uh, eating those citric foods. And that will actually inhibit the iron absorption into the body. So you can't do that, right? Like it doesn't work. It's like, why even take an iron supplement in the first place, right? And it's frustrating because iron supplementation, especially in pill form, will have a tendency to upset the stomach and cause constipation. And so we rely on things like coffee to like soothe it and help, digestive like move. Um, but it's not helpful in the least bit. So we have to look at other methods to get that. So iron is one of those that are really, really tricky. So iron, magnesium, B vitamins, um, choline is very important. Protein is extremely important. And then minerals in general, right? Just like everyday minerals. Mineral cocktails are really important. And I will also say, like, if you have the ability to not use something that comes in a little bag in terms of your mineral that you just dump in a drink, please do not. Like, the best thing you can do is use real whole foods. Take a lemon and a lime, squeeze it into some water, use a dab of honey and a pinch of Himalayan salt, and you have the best mineral elixir possible. Or just drink herbal teas. There's some amazing herbal teas that are really beneficial for hormone balance, nutrient repletion, things like stinging nettles and red raspberry leaf. Those are incredible for postpartum. So and they work synergistically together with the food components that are so necessary to help with absorption.
Wow, a lot to digest there. No pun intended. That was so good. I love how you elaborated on the iron deficiency because just think the moms listening right now, if they are suffering from postpartum depression or they think they might have it, why not go check your iron and your ferritin first and just treat it naturally instead of getting put on medicine? And boy, I mean, put that with exercise and you're cured, right? So, yeah, there's so many things that we can do naturally with our food to help us heal better and faster.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those who kind of come into postpartum depression and anxiety and feel like they are just taken out, like it happens really quick, it's really deep, it's really hard. And I've been there. I've been in positions where I could not get out of my bed, right? Like I've literally had to have my husband help carry me to the shower and comb my hair. I've been in situations where it feels astronomically difficult to live. And I've been in those scenarios, and those are the times where, fast acting medicine may be helpful, but where I think a lot of people miss the mark, especially providers, is that they use that as a means to become the cure. And it doesn't cure. It doesn't do anything, right? Outside of take away some of those feelings for some people, not even all people, right? And then what you have is you develop almost a dependency. We know that people who are taking those antidepressants end up having to take it for a long period of time because the moment that they get off, their body crashes because those initial issues were never addressed. And so they carry on, and oftentimes they get even more difficult. And so in those severe cases, like, yeah, if you want to go on medication to relieve some of those immediate symptoms, great. But when you do, go get those nutrient tests. Go look at your vitamin levels on vitamin D, magnesium, omega 3s, right? All of those iron, ferritin. Look at all of those and see what can I do to really support my body holistically so that I no longer need this antidepressant. And for those who are just like kind of inching into it, maybe they're watching their body shift and change and they're like, okay, I'm starting to get really afraid because I feel this creeping in. I know maybe you know this feeling before because you've had previous kids or maybe a history of depression and or anxiety, or maybe it's just like a slow, like, I just feel like I'm not myself, or I just don't know like what can I do? Or like, gosh, this whole mother thing is maybe not what I signed up for. Like it doesn't feel as severe, but it also feels limited. It feels almost like a crushing pressure on your chest. Like these are the places where you want to start to really hone in and focus on how do I heal my body? And this is the method. This is the root of how you're going to do that.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so glad that you elaborated on that. That's really important for the moms listening to hear that for sure. All right, well, let's switch gears a little bit into energy because moms are coming to me constantly saying that they are lacking energy. Well, In your experience, how does proper nutrition during postpartum affect energy levels? And what is your go-to nutritional strategy for helping moms not feel exhausted anymore?
Yeah, this is such a good one. So many moms feel exhausted. And the truth is like it really is more than just nutrition when it comes to exhaustion levels. We have to make sure that we're actually giving our body the proper rest that it needs because we can fuel ourselves with the most nutrient dense foods in the world, but if our body is in a state of needing health and healing, like just healing, rest, right? Because your body can't regulate the hormones. It can't synthesize nutrients without rest. So it's all very interconnected. So making sure that we give our bodies the ample time to rest, which I know is like a whole conversation in itself. How in the world do you rest with a newborn who constantly needs you? And the answer is with support, like practical support, right? And making sure that you are looking at rest in a 24-hour period, not in like a 12-hour night only period. We need constant rest throughout the day, lots of naps, all of the things. So I think that is first and foremost. The second is to really look at your nervous system function. And the nervous system is actually what changes a lot of the digestive system. And it is setting a mother up to be able to parent really well and to be able to protect her child, right? So if we're put into situations where our body perceives situations that may be harmful for our baby, maybe we are up and going, but we're at the supermarket, and there's loud noises and there's lots of smells. That in itself can trigger to the body, hey, I don't know if this is safe. This is the same thing of intrusive thoughts. We see this often with moms who might get close to a balcony or are about to walk down the stairs or they're about to get into the car and then they have this awful thought that occurs to them and it freaks them out, right? Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just thought that really awful, intrusive thought. I feel like I have no control. That's the nervous system saying, I'm on overdrive. I'm working really hard to protect my body or your body and this baby. And I'm sensing danger. And that's a really good indicator for you to like take a step back and recognize, thanks, body. I'm doing everything that I can to make sure that myself and my baby are safe. And you might need to go take a step back and rest a little bit longer, recover a little bit longer, and chill. And that is also going to help your digestion. And nutrients help all of those too. Like they all work synergistically together, like these three, right? And so, um, making sure that you're getting lots of minerals. Herbs are amazing. Mineral cocktails are amazing. And that in itself can really fuel a mother and her energy levels and support her in sleeping, as well as protein and fats. Lots of protein and lots of fats. You want to aim for 30 grams a meal, at least 90 to 120 grams of protein per 24-hour period. And fat is equally like just as important. You want to be putting a lot of fat on your plate because fat is what actually heals your tissues. It regulates your hormones and it helps your brain health. So we all know about mom brain and the changes that occur there. That's literally your brain changing and your brain is eating up a lot of energy. And so we want to feed that energy and help our body not have to use the resources that are within us. Because, right, if our body requires a lot of energy for our brain, then we're going to have less energy and during the day to, do a load of laundry or whatever. It's just going to be harder. So we want to make sure that we're fueling things that are working really hard in our bodies, like tissue repair, brain support, hormones. And that comes through fat and protein. And then, of course, lots and lots of minerals.
Oh, that's great. Well, I'm going to ask you, what kind of food choices do you love? Do you have a meal, a go-to meal that a postpartum mom can make today or go to the grocery store today, get these ingredients and whip up something really yummy? What would you say?
Keep it simple because simplicity is absolutely key. So if you can just do an herbal tea like stinging nettles and red raspberry leaf, if that's all you got in your back pocket, like and you feel like you can do, it's going to help you significantly. Bone broth is one of the best things that you can do as well. It's so rich in nutrients and collagen and protein and just all around very healthy. So if you can go bake some from from your own stock, go grab some bones, throw it in, have a couple of I mean, there's so many different recipes out there. They're all really, really good. Don't ever skim the fat. It's my only thing. Don't skim the fat and just sip it throughout the day if you can. Like that's a beautiful thing. Soups, stews, broths, those are your best friends. So if you have a favorite recipe, it's going to work.
That's great. That's really great. I love it. Okay, well, we're going to finish up with one piece of advice you would give postpartum moms about balancing their nutrition with breastfeeding, because that is something that a lot of moms are struggling with is how to navigate the breastfeeding and not eat too much, not to eat too little, and what are they supposed to be eating? How do you help these moms?
I wish the focus was not on breastfeeding, but nourishing the mother, because when you nourish the mother, you will nourish the baby. And so often we have it backwards that we want to give our babies everything. I'm a mother of four. I will sacrifice myself for that health and well-being of my child. But I'm telling you, when it comes to nourishment and food, you do not have to do that. So make sure that you're getting all the nutrients you can through the foods that I'm talking about and through the herbs that I'm talking about, and make sure that you get those minerals up and your iron levels and ferritin levels are good, right? Like if you do that, your baby is going to benefit significantly through your breast milk. You're going to feel like you're producing enough, which is a huge component to breastfeeding, and your baby is going to get the benefits from that because when you don't have enough, then your baby's going to struggle with that as well because it takes a toll on you, right? Especially, we don't talk about this enough because there's always this fear and shame like, well, if I'm your breast milk is perfect. It's going to give your baby everything your baby needs. And it is far superior than anything else out there, right? Hands down, that is the best. But if you're missing those minerals, that's going to show up in your breast milk, right? Your breast milk will always be great. It will always be more than you can ever buy in a store, no matter how deficient you are. But we always know that we can give our babies even more, right? And we can do that through nourishing ourselves. That's going to be the key. There's a lot of stress that moms go through when it comes to, well, if I'm breastfeeding, then I should be losing all of this weight and it's not coming off, or maybe I'm eating too much because I feel ravenous, and I am just really frustrated because I'm not seeing the results that I desperately need. And I will tell you, there's so many studies out there that show that the longer you breastfeed your baby exclusively, and the longer that you breastfeed in general, you will see more weight loss at a later period of time because your body is using all of that and holding on to all of that nourishment that you're giving your baby to help your baby thrive. So I always say never focus on weight loss. I know it's hard. I know we have a society that like pushes for weight loss. And sometimes we get caught up in I know I did too. It's like I've got to be the best weight and I got to make sure that I look good. Like we don't want to not look good, right? Like that's a whole thing and that's totally normal and acceptable. And you deserve to be healthy, and so does your baby. And that's not going to come through losing weight. That'll come in time. That'll come in time. And we have all of the studies that show that that will indeed happen, but at a later time, so that you and your baby will benefit the most with what you're giving them. So eat your heart out, eat as much as you can, nourish your body deeply. It will simultaneously nourish all of the needs of your baby, and when the time is right, when your body feels it, when you start weaning, um, and at a later, like after a year to 18 months, your body is going to drop it like that.
Oh, such good advice. It was so great chatting with you about these topics. And I hope the moms listening go listen to your podcast. Where can everybody find you?
Thank you. So, Postpartum University is my podcast. You can go to our website, postpartumu.com. You'll find us, our podcast link there. You will find we have free handouts for on nutrition, like including recipes and things that you could use either for yourself or for a provider who wants to hand those out to their, clientele and their patients within their clinics. And we also are on Instagram, so you can come connect with us there, ask questions. We are there.
That's so great. Well, thank you, Miranda, for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure always speaking with you. So thank you.
Wow, wasn't that such a powerful conversation? If you love this episode, be sure to check out Miranda's podcast and all the incredible work she's doing to support moms in their healing journey. And if you are ready to work with me and join me in Postpartum at Rehab, definitely just come on over to livecorestrong.com/program and we can get started together right away. And remember to always live core strong. Hey mama, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts? It would bring me so much joy. Simply scroll down to the stars and click write a review. Your review will help more women discover our podcast. Let's grow this fit mom movement together. And if you want your friends to come alongside you on this postpartum fitness journey, invite them to our free Facebook group where you can get motivated together. Community is key to success, and that's what I want for you. So join ours by going to the link in the show notes, and before you know it, the baby weight will be falling off as quickly as those stinky diapers. I can't wait to see you on the next episode of the Fit Postpartum Mom Podcast.